Hi everyone, in last lecture series we have seen about the working principle and working mechanism and also application of hydrophobic interaction chromatography. And today's lecture series we can continue this session with affinity chromatography and its working mechanism and also principle behind. Coming to the introduction of this affinity chromatography, here usually this affinity chromatography is a type of chromatography where this makes use of a specific affinity between a molecule that is to be isolated and also with the ligand that is having a specificity forward the molecule. And this technique originally used for the purification of enzymes, and nowadays it has been extended for the purification of nucleic acids and nucleotides and various immunoglobulins, and also it is used for the purification of membrane receptors. That is not only stopped with that, it can also be used for the purification and separation of whole cells and also as a cell fragment. Coming to the types of affinity chromatography, we have certain different specific types of affinity chromatography. That includes lectin affinity chromatography and also immunoaffinity chromatography and metal chelate affinity chromatography, then di-ligand affinity chromatography and also covalent affinity chromatography. Coming to the principle of affinity chromatography, here this affinity chromatography usually involves the interaction between the isolated protein substance and also with the ligand chelates. That is, that it will have a specific interaction with the substrate and also the desired protein that has to be isolated. So, this principle involves, that is, the affinity chromatography is based on the property of specific or non-covalent binding of proteins to other molecules like substrates or sometimes cofactors. Whereas this techniques involves the use of ligands covalently attached to an inert porous matrix column. When we are using this affinity chromatography for separation, here this involves the interaction between the bead surface and the ligand in a high complex, whereas this makes overlaps between the bead surface and the ligands. This overlap may prevent the binding between the ligand and the target molecule which is to be isolated. So, we have to use a spacer arm to separate the ligand and the bead surface to avoid this overlap, whereas the spacer arm ensures that the target molecule have full access to the ligand. Coming to the working mechanism of affinity chromatography, we have certain following procedural steps. And in this, we have to make interaction between the ligand and the matrix so that it can make a covalent bond of interaction between these two, so that this interaction will helps to isolate the desired protein in a specific manner. And in this column, once we have set this ligand matrix interaction, we have to pour this into the elution column, whereas this elution column will make a perfect interaction with the bead surface and the gel and ligand matrix. When this ligand gel matrix is having a perfect interaction with this elution column, after this we have to make a mixture of solution, that is sample solution having a isolated protein, so that this sample can be poured into the elution column. Once when the desired isolate containing sample mixture is poured into the elution column, this will contain a high concentration of both desired and undesired proteins. We have to remove this undesired proteins through various techniques. In this, we have a wash of extreme pH buffers and also with high salt concentrations, and we can also use different temperature solutions to run off this undesired complex proteins. Whereas the desired complex proteins will have a high interaction with the ligands that is already present in the column, whereas this ligand and the protein molecules, that is target protein molecules, will have a high interaction so that it cannot be easily separated off. For this, we can use a second washing buffers which is highly strong enough than the first buffer. With this, we can use the strong buffer and we can elute the and separate or purify the protein that is desired. Coming to the working principle of affinity chromatography, it can be represented through diagrammatic view. Whereas in this diagram, we have a red color porous structure of matrix that is mainly made up of Sepharose, which is having high specificity towards the ligand. This ligand and the Sepharose matrix will form an immobilized ligand complex. Whereas whenever we are pouring this immobilized ligand into the elution buffer, it goes and get interacted with the surface of the column. After this, whenever we are pouring the sample with desired isolate of proteins, we have to wait for certain period of time so that this make an interaction forming a covalent bond between the immobilized ligand complex and the sample of isolated protein. This protein complex that is formed with the immobilized ligand will be separated off, whereas before this we have to separate the impurities through washing buffer, and this complex and the isolated protein can be separated or eluted and can be purified through second strong solution. Then specificity of affinity chromatography. Mainly this word affinity deals with the interaction between the ligand and the matrix through various specific natures, whereas this specificity is mainly based on certain aspects of affinity, that is covalent bond interaction, that have three main factors. One is the matrix, and the next one is the ligand, and the third one is the attachment of this ligand to the matrix. The main component in affinity chromatography is matrix and ligand. Here we can see about the matrix. The matrix simply provides a porous structure, whereas this porous structure helps to increase the surface area to which the matrix and the ligand and the various target molecules can come and bind easily. Whereas this is what the affinity chromatography is mainly used in earlier and is highly useful for various scientific community. And here the matrix must be activated for the ligand to bind to it, whereas after doing this it can retain for some period of time so that it can get activated towards the target molecule for its interaction. And in practice, the particles that are used in affinity chromatography for a matrix formation is usually spherical and rigid are used highly. The most common ones should have a highly cross-linked dextrans and agarose and polyacrylamide and polymethacrylate, or polystyrene and cellulose and silica materials can also be used. So the second main component of affinity chromatography is ligand. This ligand plays a vital role for the interaction and separation and also for purification of protein, because this forms a high specific interaction of covalent bond between the molecule and the ligand matrix complex. So this ligand binds only to the desired molecule within the solution, and the ligand attaches to the matrix, which is made up of highly inert in nature, so that it does not form any chemical formations or chemical reactions between the matrix and the ligand. And the ligand should only interact with the desired molecule and form a temporary bond to elute easily. So by forming this ligand molecule complex inside the column, this forms the target molecule to be retained inside the column for certain period of time. So this can be eluted out using elution buffer. So meanwhile, the undesired compounds can be eluted off through the washing buffer, and this ligand molecule complex can be dissociated by changing the pH and temperature and salt concentrations. And this is shown with the help of diagrammatic representation, whereas in this diagram the bead surface and the ligand is highly complexed with the matrix, and this can be eluted with the help of introducing the free ligands. This affinity chromatography mainly have many applications and advantages, whereas some of the advantages are listed below. So first one is high selectivity compared to other purification techniques based on molecular size, charge and isoelectric point, etc. Here this is used for good purification up to several thousand folds in a single step, and recoveries greater than 90% can be expected provided the conditions are carefully selected, and it is having high concentrating effect can be achieved and can be used to remove unwanted materials from the mixture. So it can also have high yield. One-step purification can be achieved from crude extracts. Since it is highly useful technique, this have certain disadvantages. One of the disadvantage is that different stationary phase can be used almost for every separations, and it is also having leakage of ligands in larger amount and expensive method because it is using a highly specific ligands with high complementary structures, and it is also having problem in scale up nature, and it is also having high labor intensive. There are certain common application that uses affinity chromatography for the separation of protein and enzymes. Here some of the applications are purification of substance from various biological mixture and separation of native protein from the denatured form of proteins and purify and concentrate enzymes in various solutions, and also used for purification of immunoglobulins and purification of small amount of biological materials from high levels of contaminating substances. Let us come to the end of this session. Hope you have all understood about the principle and working mechanism of affinity chromatography. In upcoming session, we can see in detail about the principle, working mechanism and various applications of reverse phase chromatography. Thank you.